Hey guys, and welcome back to another vlog. If you're new here, hello and welcome to Sophie's Suitcase. I run this travel outdoor adventure blog and I'm all over social media, so check out my other channels as well for more tips, tricks, travel guides and hacks on how to get cheap flights and travel the world with a full-time job. Now this video is all about London because the last couple of months, obviously since we haven't been able to go anywhere, I've been exploring a lot of London and I just wanted to pull together some of my favourite places to go. Now I will go through all 10 of them, I will insert some clips, some photos, and yeah, just kind of give you a very brief background on my favourite top 10 places to visit in London. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions, and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the coming weeks. It means a lot to me to have your engagement and it helps me grow this channel. So let's go. Okay, so first on our list at number 1 is Little Venice. Now it's an area of London that isn't very well known by a lot of tourists. A lot of tourists often stay in the kind of City of London and Covent Garden areas and head to all the famous tourist hotspots in central London. But Little Venice is in the northern area of central London, so it's up above kind of near Regent's Park, Paddington, that area. It's also where you will find the Grand Union Canal, which is one of the most famous canals in the UK, and you can actually travel from all the way from London, I think, all the way up north. I will check where you can go to, but even where I live just outside London, the Grand Union Canal weaves its way all across the British countryside and just keeps on going really. So yeah, Little Venice is a really great place to hang out for a day. You can go paddleboarding on the canal, you can grab a coffee at one of the many riverside cafes, pubs and restaurants. You can go and watch a cinema in a hot tub. You can rent out boats for the day. You can even rent out a canal boat if you and your mates have got a little bit of cash and you want to do something a little bit different. And once you've wandered along the Grand Union Canal, you can also head to Paddington Basin, where you can find even more restaurants, more chain-based restaurants. So if you want to go somewhere independent, I'd stay up the Little Venice side of the area. But yeah, it's a great place to explore. So number 2 is Notting Hill. Now I talk about Portobello Road market a little bit later on, so stay tuned for that one, which is also in Notting Hill. But Notting Hill as an area deserves a mention in itself because it's such a beautiful area of London with some incredible architecture and buildings. You've got electric cinema here, as I say, you've got the market, you've also got lots of cafes, restaurants and lots of things to do in this area too. Notting Hill is world famous as being a very multicultural and kind of creative area of London. Even big stars like Bob Marley have recorded music here, and there's lots of music studios around this area. It's also home to Notting Hill Carnival, which runs every August in this area, and it's a carnival that goes through the streets of Notting Hill, and it's all about food and culture and music and just life in general, and it's a really great place to explore. Okay, so next up, number 3 is Columbia Road Flower Market, one of my absolute favourite places in London. Me and Theo have spent many Sunday afternoons wandering around this area, picking up flowers and plants, grabbing a coffee and just exploring the area. Columbia Road Flower Market was founded in 1869 and ever since it's been an incredible place to spend a Sunday. The flower market is only on Sundays, so make sure you plan that into your weekend trip in London. From here you could also go and explore Shoreditch and the Hackney areas as well, as they're only a stone's throw away. Number 4 is Portobello Road. Now I spoke briefly earlier about Notting Hill, and Portobello Road is actually in Notting Hill, but I feel like Portobello Road Market needs a number in itself because it's just a beautiful area. The market is on nearly every day. It's rarely ever not full. The only time it wasn't busy was when I went recently during kind of the easing of lockdown, and you can find so much to do here. There are cafes, shops, you can find the biscuiteers, you can grab some flowers, some plants, street food, all sorts. It's definitely worth exploring this area. I would go on a weekday though if you can, because it does get busy. Now my spot at number 5 is actually Canary Wharf. Now it's an area of London that is very unknown to kind of the tourist area. It's very much known as the financial district. It's here you'll find all of the big financial businesses, HSBC, Barclays, etc., and their head offices. But there's so much more to see in Canary Wharf. Me and Sandy went for a little wander around this area a couple of weeks ago, and I was really impressed with what I found. There's a roof garden, which is just incredible and a really calming space. Canary Wharf is also currently undergoing a big renovation, and they're putting in lots of shops, restaurants, gym classes. I think there's going to be a co-box and a Barry's boot camp as well. There's so many big, amazing restaurants. There's a Big Easy as well if you fancy some lobster, and just lots of places to wander around. There's Jubilee Gardens where me and Sandy went and grabbed lunch and sat down. So there's lots of things to do in Canary Wharf, and it's a very underrated area. Okay, and in at number 6, and I've just realised for the last few ones I've been doing 2 hands, which makes no sense now. I'm going into 6, 7, 8 and 9, but whatever. My number 6 is Greenwich. Now, I love Greenwich. I think if I lived in London, I would probably choose Greenwich as my kind of place to live, where you've got the National Maritime Museum and the famous Cutty Sark, which you can go and explore. But you've also got Queen's House and also the Meridian line up on the top of the hill of Greenwich Park. If you wander back down into near the river, you can also explore Greenwich Village, where you can also find Greenwich Market and grab some street food and coffee. I feel like I say, oh, grab some coffee, but it's my favourite thing to do when I'm in London is grab coffee and just have a wander around. So yeah, Greenwich is 100% top of my list if you are visiting London. Now number 7 is Central London, and I realise this isn't really a borough or an area of London, but it incorporates a big space, and it's kind of the main area that tourists head to when they are on weekend trips, which is great because everything is so compact and condensed, and you can get all across central London to all the different types of places you want to go to, including Piccadilly Square, Trafalgar Gardens, Covent Garden, Buckingham Palace, St James's Park. All of these places are in such a compact space. It's a really great area to explore. Now, all the footage that I'm overlaying in this clip is from Christmas last year, because I realised I don't have much footage of central London outside of Christmas time. So bear in mind this isn't what central London looks like all the time, but it's a really great place to explore, and it's a good base to have for your weekend in London. Number 8, guys, is Brick Lane, and again, this isn't really an area, it is actually a road, but it is kind of an area of London per se. It's up in the Tower Hamlets area, close to Shoreditch, just around the corner from Shoreditch High Street station, and it's just an incredibly multicultural area of London, which I adore. It's super close to Columbia Road Flower Market as well, so often when I head in to Columbia Road on a Sunday, I will do that in the morning and then head over to Brick Lane, Shoreditch and Hackney areas in the afternoon. Brick Lane has so many things to do. It is the home of vintage shopping. It is the home of street food in London, and I would highly recommend you take a trip to this area of London. Number 9 is Kensington and South Kensington areas. So this is West London, so you would be heading out on the Circle or the District line to get to this area, and it's just a really great upmarket area of London. The buildings are stunning, the architecture is second to none. It's also where you'll find the museum district as well, so you've got the V&A Museum, you've got the Natural History Museum, the Science Museum, and all different types of things to do. So it's a really great family area if you've got kids, or even if you just want to learn something new for yourself. It's also where you'll find the Royal Albert Hall, access to Hyde Park, so there's a lot of things to do in this area. I've stayed here many times because it's just enough far out of central London to feel like you're not in too much of the hustle and bustle of the city, and it gives you a little bit more space to explore as well. And number 10, and I finally got the numbers right, is Covent Garden. Now, Covent Garden, I did mention a couple of numbers ago on my kind of central London tip, but Covent Garden I think deserves a little number itself, because it is such a vast area and it incorporates a lot. If you love shopping, Covent Garden is the perfect place for you. It's not too far from Leicester Square and Oxford Street, but it's a little shopping district in itself. You've also got a transport museum here, so it's super kid friendly, as well as some of the most beautiful restaurants in London. I've spent many an evening having drinks with friends and cocktails on balconies around Covent Garden, and then obviously within Covent Garden itself as the central point, you've also got lots of shops and independent retailers here as well. So it's a really great place to spend a day. So I hope you enjoyed this little guide to the 10 best spots in London. These are just my 10. I would love to hear yours. There are so many things to do in London, so please drop a comment below and let me know your favourite areas or roads or places in London. I will be doing lots more guides to London in the coming months, so I'd love to hear about where you want to go. I popped an Instagram post up yesterday actually and kind of said to everybody, where do you want me to go and film next? And there was so many suggestions, so I can't wait to go into London next week and film some more for you. So as I say, thank you for listening. Hit the like button, hit subscribe for more videos. There will be more in the coming weeks.